Good evening, everybody, and welcome in here on the Buckeye Racing Network. We are live here at the Lucas Oil Speedway with the STRR IMCA style modifieds tonight. Race 6 of their season. I'm Tyler Bentley. Alongside me in the booth, as always, is Mr. Tim Henderson. Tim, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing wonderful. I know you're under the weather a little bit, but other than that, how you doing?
Yeah, just a bit under the weather. Been battling an illness for a couple days. Feel some better today, and happy to be watching some racing. Kind of take my mind off of that as we get into this evening, but not too bad. We pick up looking at Mr. Matt Tejon here, working his way around the speedway. About 2 minutes left in the practice session here. He's sitting second on the timing chart. Fastest lap of a 16.20. See who else is out here running some laps. We got Cody McDonald there. He's ran a 16.30. A little bit of contact with Russell DeVille there in the middle of 3 and 4. Dawson Tone was working the outside of the speedway through 3 and 4 that time. So we've seen kind of a mix of lines. Some cars running low, some cars running high. This is a wider racetrack, so we should see varying lines here tonight. Tim, I know you ran some practice laps, you said, before we went live here. Tell us what you thought about the racetrack.
I was most comfortable with running the bottom. Kind of a slider line, I guess. Kind of, not really, not quite. Russell just did about what I was doing in 1 and 2, and I was really wrapping 3 and 4 around the bottom. I wasn't too comfortable with the high side as it's there's like a little peak and you can go off the banking. It's like Lernerville, and I learned the hard way a couple times.
That's very interesting. So something we'll have to keep an eye on tonight as drivers getting up, creeping up the racetrack and trying to run that outside line. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. Pardon me. As the practice session is just about to wrap up here, we're going to roll into our random draw heat races. All right. Let's take a look at our grid here for the first heat of the night. In row number 1 on the inside is going to be the 31 of Matt Smith. On the outside, the 22 of Thomas Levester. Row 2 on the inside, Matt Pridgeon in the 001. Dawson Tone in the 24. Row 3 is going to be Matt Tejon in the 313 and Ryan Howard in the 04. Row 4 is going to be AJ Hunsinger in the 19 and Jared Murphy in the 1. Row number 5 is going to be Russell DeVille in the 17 and James Murphy in the 65. Ten cars for 8 laps. Field starts.
James Murphy getting another bad draw.
I know that's something he talked about last week, so we'll see how he fares in this heat race here. Starting shotgun in the heat. He's got 8 laps to move his way up. Pace truck has dipped on off. Field's working out of turn number 2. in the hands of Matt Smith. Green flag is in the air, and we're underway in heat number 1. Ooh, some beating and banging back there. That was around Ryan Howard. Looks like they all straighten it up. Head down the backstretch.
I believe we'll be seeing a yellow here. There was quite a bit of contact with Jared, and I don't know who that was. Russell Duville.
Yeah,
Looks like they got it going. No yellow.
Russell looked like he was struggling just a bit there at the tail of the field. Battle is on for second. Thomas Levister, Matt Pridgeon. Side by side. That settles out. Thomas Levister's going to maybe, no, not this time, look to the outside of Matt Smith. But he thought about it.
And AJ really wrapping 1 and 2, really good. Able to complete the pass on Matt to home. Or Tone, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we throw these first 4 cars under a blanket. They're all close together. Oh, my. Almost contact with the 22 and 24 there. Really close battling. Already down to 3 to go in this heat. Don't look now, but the 65 is on the very bottom and trying to make his way through. And he is coming. Matt Smith, Thomas Levister, 1 and 2. The battle is on for third on back. Dawson Tone has it. James Murphy's looking for it. White flags in the air.
Oh, what a run.
Oh, a little bit of contact. They keep it clean. Checkered flag in the air. Matt Smith wins the heat. Thomas Levister is second. Dawson Tone gets third. James Murphy is fourth. AJ Hunsinger is fifth. Awesome first heat of the night. And James was able to make his way from 10th to 4th there, so really nice job for him. Take a look at the grid here in heat number 2. In row 1, the 024 of Trevor Doyle and the 13 of Austin Strang. Row 2 is going to be the 515 of Chris Cox and the 23 of Dusty Roberts. Row 3 is going to be the number 3 machine of Aiden Schulte and the 32 machine of Chase Dunow. Row 4 is going to be Cody McDonald in the 28, Dana Burdick in the 27 on the outside. Shotgun in the heat is going to be Alan Smith in the 44. We saw some really good racing there in heat race number 1. I expect the same here in heat number 2. If you're watching along with us here on the Buckeye Racing Network, let us know in the chat who you're rooting and pulling for tonight. And as always, we appreciate you tuning in and watching. Trevor Doyle and Dusty Roberts on the front row. Gonna bring us to the green flag this time around. Pace truck is off. Oh, a little bit of contact there between Dusty Roberts and I believe that's Chase Dunow there.
And they're away.
Trevor Doyle, awesome jump on the initial start, and he pulls out to a comfortable gap, leading him into turn 1. Chris Cox is into second. Dusty Roberts settles back into third. Battle is on for fifth. Dana Burdick's running the outside. Alan Smith is running the inside of the Speedway. Oh, my. Aiden Schulte almost made big-time contact with Dusty Roberts there through 1 and 2. Had to jump away out of the throttle. He falls back into the clutches of Dana Burdick.
Dana just getting over that edge that I was talking about earlier. Now he's under fire.
Yeah, Alan Smith still working the bottom. He's looking to make that pass on Dana right now. Quick check back up towards the front. Our first 3 cars are single file. 3 to 4 tenths separate each guy. And Alan Smith and Dana Burdick is still battling side by side. White flag, or excuse me, 2 to go in this heat. Doyle, Cox, and it looks like Roberts has started to run the very bottom side of the racetrack. Just creeping along. Now the white flag is in the air. Last time through 3 and 4 for heat number 2. Doyle slides up a little bit, leaves the door open for Cox. Cox is not able to improve. Trevor Doyle wins the heat. Chris Cox is second. Dusty Roberts is going to be third. Aiden Schulte is fourth. Dana Burdick fifth. Checking out the grid of, is this the, which main is this, Tim?
This will be the C main.
All right.
Looks like the C main. So we're gonna have 3 mains, or well, 2 mains and then a featured. They'll be taking 1 from the C main and 12 from the B main.
All right, these drivers are vying for 1 spot. We have 6 drivers for 1 spot. Alan Smith is going to start first in the 44. Matt DeHone in the 313 is going to be number 2. Row number 2 is going to be Chase Dunow in the 32 and Ryan Howard in the 04. Row 3 is going to be Jared Murphy in the 1 and Russell DeVille in the 17. $12 laps to settle this, and we're taking 1 car. Six starters for 1 spot. Who's going to make it to the next main?
A little surprised with a couple of the names that are in this main, but
yeah, one of them being our points leader.
Oh boy.
A very jumbled up start there. I don't know if the admins will call that one back or not. The green flag is in the air nonetheless.
Jared Murphy's trying to get that run. Oh. He's there. He's still there.
Working the inside part of the racetrack is Jared Murphy. Alan Smith in the 44 on the outside. That line's going to prevail out of turn number 2. Ten laps to go. Murphy and Smith are battling really hard. Oh my, crashing, I think, in the back. That's Russell DeVille. His car's around backwards. The yellow flag has not been displayed yet. Now it does.
Man, the top 4 cars, throw them under a blanket. Each of them running their own line.
Let's go back and take a look at what happened. Out of turn 2, Russell DeVille and Chase Dunow made contact. Russell DeVille hard into the outside wall. I think he expired the motor with how hard he hit. That might be an unfortunate end to Russell DeVille's night here. Yeah, Russell DeVille looks like he has retired, so we've got 5 cars left. And like you said, some surprising names in this. Our points leader, Ryan Howard, is here. He would really like to move forward tonight. Try to keep that points lead. We'll see what happens here in the closing laps.
As we have this long wait down the backstretch and through 3. And they're away.
Green flag is back in the air, and Murphy jumps out to the lead. Matt Tejon and Alan Smith side by side for second. Ryan Howard settles in third. Or excuse me, that would be fourth. Chase Dunow is fifth. Matt, the 313, improves to second. He's trying to hunt down Jared in the number 1 machine here.
Wow. On the limit, Chase Dunow. I think he had one tire up over. Oh, it bet him.
Just like you talked about earlier, getting up over that cushion. Alan Smith, same thing. Oh my. I believe that's the 04 Ryan Howard. The motor may have expired on that machine. Puffs of white smoke out the back end. Looks like he's going to try to limp that car to the finish. 2 laps to go.
Chase Dunow off. Alan Smith takes over third.
White flag is in the air for Jared Murphy. Matt Tejon is right there, but not close enough. Alan Smith settles in third. Out of turn number 4. Jared Murphy crosses the line and wins the main. Matt Tejon comes home second. Alan Smith third. Chase Dunow fourth. Ryan Howard, our points leader, in fifth, and not transferring out of this C main.
Man, that's a tough break for Ryan. I'm not sure what happened.
Absolutely tough luck for the points leader here tonight. Starting grid for the B main, so all these drivers are going to transfer to the A. Row 1. going to be the 24 of Dawson Tone and the 23 of Dusty Roberts. Row 2 is going to be the 65 of James Murphy and the 3 of Aiden Schulte. Row 3 is going to be the 19 of AJ Hunsinger and the 27 of Dana Burdick. Row 4 is going to be the 001 of Matt Pridgeon and the 1 machine of Jared Murphy. All right. All the cars are transferring, correct, Tim?
I believe that is correct.
All right.
It's showing a 12, so I assume all cars will transfer.
Roger that. B main underway. The caution is out. I'm not sure if it was a bad start or what exactly brought that yellow flag out. Because I don't see...
Dusty Roberts got wicked sideways, but I'm not sure if that's what they called the yellow for.
Let's go back and try to see if that... Yeah, I mean, he did get wicked sideways, but everybody kept going straight, so maybe it was just a precautionary yellow flag.
You know, great heads up driving by everyone to get through that. I think the only drivers that made contact were Matt Pridgeon and Jared Murphy.
Good driving by those fellas to get through. And remember, the finish here is going to determine these guys' starting spot in the A main here after bid. Two by two. Green flags back in the air. Dawson Tone takes the early lead into turn number 1. AJ Hunsinger working the very bottom of the speedway, looking underneath Aiden Schulte right now. Not quite able to complete that pass out of turn 4. Going to settle back in and keep the eyes forward. 3 wide battle just behind them. James on the inside, Jared on the outside, and Matt Pridgeon was in the middle.
James Murphy wasting no time working his way back up to the field. I believe that's what the yellow was for. He was given an EOL.
And he's doing all he can down there. On the bottom side of the speedway, it's 3 wide. Awesome racing here in this B main. 3 wide action for pretty much 2 rows deep here. And James Murphy has almost cleared himself into second. Bumping and banging just behind him. Matt Pridgeon goes around. He gathers it back in. I believe we're going to stay green. We do. And James is not done yet. He's still working the inside part of the racetrack, trying to get around Dawson.
still just about 3 wide for third. That was close.
James is to the inside of Dawson. That 65 machine is hunting. He has been the fastest car on the racetrack.
Dawson's flirting with that line. He's just about flipping it. Flipping that right rear over. See if he can hold off James.
Wow, what a battle through the field for James. Oh, and some contact from Dawson behind him. That's going to allow AJ to look to his Dawson's inside here for a second. Hunsinger working that bottom line like James was. Crossover move for the 24 of Dawson Tone.
And they're so close to that edge. It's scaring me.
White flag is in the air. Yeah, AJ is on the edge. I think if he clears him, he takes the inside line through 3. No, he's going to stay on the outside. Out of turn 4, checkered flag in the air for James Murphy. AJ Hunsinger's going to come home second. Dawson Hone in third. Aiden Schulte is going to be fourth. Dana Burdick in fifth. What a run for James Murphy there. All right, we got a quick warm-up session here for these drivers. That's going to be in the feature. A quick 5-minute warm-up session. Tell you, if drivers paid attention, they're going to be trying to do what James Murphy did in that B main. Try to figure out how to run the bottom side of the speedway because it is fast. So I know if I was going out to run some practice laps here, that would be what I'd be trying. Matt Pridgeon just went to the top of the board with a 1697. Well, I do see some drivers still trying to work the top side of the speedway here. Jared Murphy just popped up to second on the charts, a 1695. Trevor Doyle just went to number 1 with a 1692. as we wind down these final 2 minutes of the warm-up session. Tim, who do you have your eye on in this feature coming up?
Well, the obvious answer would be James Murphy, but I think I'm gonna switch it up. I think I'm gonna take. I think I'm gonna take. Let's see here. Trevor Doyle.
All right. Maybe a sleeper pick for tonight, I would say, for sure. He was showing some speed. You know, if I had to pick, you know, like you said, the obvious answer would be James. I think I'm going to look at Mr. AJ Hunsinger, because he's been committed to running that bottom too, and we know it's fast. See if we can ride on board here. The final 20 seconds of the warm-up session with Matt Smith as he works his way around Lucas Oil Speedway. All right. We are gridding up here for our feature race, 40 laps the distance. Row number 1 starters here tonight is going to be Matt Smith in the 31, Trevor Doyle in the 024. Row 2, Thomas Levister in the 22, Chris Cox in the 515. Row number 3, James Murphy in the 65, AJ Hunsinger in the 19. Row 4, Dawson Tone in the 24, Aiden Schulte in the 3. Row 5, Dana Burdick in the 27, Dusty Roberts in the 23. Row 6, Matt Pridgeon in the 001, Jared Murphy in the 1. And those are going to be our 12 and final starters of the evening. Field working 2 by 2. .40 laps the distance. Out of turn number 4, green flag is in the air. Matt Smith brings them down into turn number 1. Side by side out of turn 2, Trevor Doyle battling him on the outside.
James Murphy looking to the inside to steal second.
Oh, one car in the outside wall. I believe that's the 3 of Aiden Schulte. He gathers it back in, keeps going. Matt Smith is in the lead, but these guys are hunting him down. Trevor Doyle, Chris Cox, James Murphy are all right there. No surprise, Murphy's working the very inside of the speedway. Just behind him is the 31 of Hunsinger trying to follow him through.
Doyle's going to get to the inside with a huge run through 1 and 2 as we go through 3 and 4. See what he can do with this run that he's getting.
Still side by side out of turn 2. Matt Smith's not going to give it away. He's shown that so far.
It almost looks like James Murphy's putting a little brake into it to help get it to rotate and get even closer to the inside line.
Trevor Doyle is working the inside part of the speedway, and he's working his way around Matt Smith, taking the lead here. Coming to complete 7 laps.
Doyle looks like he's using a lot of brake now. Let's see how long that's going to work out for him.
Just cuts across the nose of the 65 of James Murphy. Matt Smith brushes the outside wall, entering turn 3. Chris Cox now looking to the inside of the 31 machine.
Dawson Tone way up the track, trying to make it 3 wide to get around both of them.
Yeah, Tone's definitely running in a unique line, trying to make the outside work. He's up over the cushion. That's going to lose a little bit of time there exiting turn 2. Three wide there, Bridge and Burdick, Tone. For the 8th spot.
The biggest mover in
Oh,
this race.
Bridgen damaged the left front of the car. He was able to pull off the speedway. And you see the wheels missing on that machine. Caution flag is in the air.
Well, as I was saying, James Murphy is the biggest mover in this race so far.
We're going to see the 001 machine of Matt Bridgen get down there. The very inside part of turns 3 and 4. And I believe he clips the tire. Yes, he hits the tire in the middle of turns 3 and 4, and that broke the left front on that machine. Looks like he's able to get back out there and rejoin the guys. Pace truck is peeling off. We're going to get back to green flag racing. Green flag's in the air. Trevor Doyle brings us back into turn 1. James Murphy rolls a reverse this time. He's on the outside. Caution's back out.
It involved the 27 machine of Dana Burdick. It was just a little stack up ahead of him with Hunsinger and Tone going into 1 on the restart.
Yeah, it looks like Dana was just an unfortunate circumstance there for him as he was trying to get down into turn number 1. Nonetheless, he gets the car back going and rejoins the field. Field going to go back 2 by 2 here. Pace lights are off on the pace truck. We are going to get back to green flag racing here momentarily. Doyle's on the gas early. Green flag is back in the air. We've got 25 laps to go here in the feature.
Good jump by Trevor Doyle, but it allowed James to get down to the inside.
Almost near catastrophe as Thomas Levister got a little help from behind and almost lost the car in the middle of turns 3 and 4. That stacks him up near the back of the field. They're all going straight though. Matt Smith, I believe, got up over the cushion in the middle of 3 and 4 and was really slow. He gathers it back in and is going straight. Back up front, Trevor Doyle still leads. James Murphy's still working the bottom.
He's just sliding up a little too much. It looks like that brake is, him using the brakes is starting to push him up the track, or slide him up the track a little bit, allowing James to just peek inside.
Tell you another big mover is Mr. Jared Murphy in the 1 machine. He started towards the tail end of the field and has made his way up to 4th. I believe Matt Smith and Thomas Levister are battling for the 5th spot. They were side by side there out of turn number 2. Keeping an eye on that. The first 4 cars looks like they've moved down to the bottom part of the speedway. Oh, Trevor Doyle did not get through 1 and 2 as well as he had hoped, and that allowed James to cruise right up to him, and there was contact made between both drivers.
Certainly hurt James, but it looks like he's going to start reeling them in. Wonder if he was just saving his tire.
Yeah, he may have been. There, that time around the racetrack, James was the quickest car.
Little contact. Doyle's just sliding up a little too much, allowing James to get to the inside.
Oh my, be careful of the tires down there.
She's gonna look to the high side now.
Ten laps to go in this feature.
Oh, I believe that's gonna. No, they're about even. They're even.
Both drivers in a dogfight here for the lead. And James Murphy looks like he's going to prevail out of that battle. New race leader. Doyle's going to settle back in second. Chris Cox is running third. Jared Murphy is in fourth. Thomas Levister is in fifth. Battle is on for sixth with Dawson Tone and Matt Smith. Now that James has gotten the lead, he's trying to pull away from these guys. Chris Cox is slowly reeling in Trevor Doyle for the second place position on the track.
Matt Bridge and Aiden Schulte and Dana are just in a fierce battle for the 10th position.
You ain't kidding. Big contact was made right there between Matt and Dana.
So you got Matt Smith getting to the inside of Dusty Roberts, trying to complete the pass. It looks like there's a little more speed up top now, late in this race. I don't know if it's going to be enough for Doyle to use it.
White flag is in the air one more time around for James Murphy. Through turns 3 and 4. To the line, James Murphy is the winner here tonight at Lucas Oil Speedway with Short Track Rivals Racing IMCA style modifieds. What a race. And another nice victory for James. We're going to get an interview with the top 3 here in just a minute after we get through the results. Take a look at the results here. James Murphy, the winner. Trevor Doyle in P2. Chris Cox in third. Jared Murphy coming home fourth. Thomas Levister in fifth. Dawson Tone sixth. Matt Smith is seventh. Dusty Roberts eighth. AJ Hunsinger in ninth. Matt Pridgeon 10th. Aiden Schulte is 11th. Dana Burdick comes home 12th. Let's go ahead and get a word with our top 3. We're going to start off with our third place finisher, Chris Cox. Chris Cox, this is Tyler and Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
All righty, brother. How about that third place finish tonight?
Second one in a row. I was surprised I even got third. Honestly, I was watching IMCA race on my other monitor the whole race. So, yeah.
All right, doing some multitasking then.
Yep. Gotta keep up with the Clash on the Coast.
All righty. Tim's in the booth with me. Tim, you have anything to ask Chris?
Yeah, the last handful of laps, probably closer to the 10 laps, you were up there on the high side. You think you could have made the pass on Trevor Doyle if you were able to sneak to the inside as James Murphy did?
Oh, I definitely would have. Honestly, I would have had a pass on Trevor, and then he, I think, took a little peek at his mirror and went to the top. But it is what it is, and kind of messed up in one corner, going into one at one point because he just got really sideways. But you know, a third's good.
All righty, Chris. Before we let you go, is there anybody that you would like to thank?
I'd like to thank Logue Fabrication for coming on board. I'd like to thank Hogland Automotive or Auto Plaza coming on board this year. Uh, MJC Desktop Fabrications for coming on board. TBH Defense for coming on board. And well, my business, Chris Cox Gaming.
All righty, man. We'll let you go celebrate that third place.
Hi, have a good night, guys.
All right, you too, buddy.
You too. That was Mr. Chris Cox. Time to get a word in with our second place finisher, Trevor Doyle. Hey, Trevor, this is Tyler and Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All righty, man. Congrats on the second place finish, and you led quite a few laps there. I mean, was there anything you could try to do to hold off James?
Just not really. I felt bad because I was trying to save my tires because I don't know, just keep my car white is all I was trying to do. I was trying to save some tires early in the race, and then it led to me letting him by.
All right. Tim, is there anything you want to ask Trevor tonight?
Yeah, I noticed you were using a lot of brake. I think if you think you could have held him off, because it looked like you were sliding every time you used the brake, sliding up a little bit, allowing him to peak.
Yeah, I actually wasn't using any brake. I was just sending it in there that hard. It didn't want to grab on that slick stuff, so it was just sliding up a hair. And yeah, I know it looked like I was using brakes, but I didn't touch them once unless we were under caution.
Oh, wow. How about that? I mean, we were talking about that, wondering if you guys were using any brake or not. That's for sure. But before we...
Yeah, I don't use much braking at all unless I absolutely have to. I feel like it slows me down.
Oh, big 10-4 there. Before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to thank?
League of Outlaws, AS Photography, AJ Hunzinger for putting everything together that we do over at League of Outlaws.
All righty, Trevor. We'll let you go celebrate that second place finish.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good night.
You too.
That was our second place finisher, Mr. Trevor Doyle. And we'll get to talk to our race winner here, Mr. James Murphy. James, this is Tyler and Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All righty, man. Deja vu for us. Another race win here with STRR. How's it feeling?
It's good. I thought I was screwed after the B main. I got put to the back, but I was able to work my way back up through there around the bottom, and I felt really comfortable running right against the tires down there.
Well, I think we could tell up in the booth. We made note. You had a kind of a rough pill draw in the heat, and then starting in the back of the B main. But it was sure fun to watch you work that low side of the speedway up through the field.
Yeah, it seems to be my luck recent. For the last few weeks, I've started just about dead last every week in the heat races, but I knew I had to do something to get past Trevor, and I put my nose in there a few times on the bottom, and I couldn't seem to get by him. So I said, "The hell with it," and went through the middle, right through the slick.
Absolutely. Tim, you have anything to ask James?
Man, we're gonna have to get a reserved uh parking spot for you up here. Uh, you were able to get in below him. What was allowing you to take advantage of him slipping up the track to get into the bottom?
Yeah, I was. It seemed like I was getting into the corner a little bit better, but there wasn't enough room for me to steep my car in there in through the middle and off. So I just kept backing out a lot. I didn't want to wreck us both.
All righty, James. Well, before we let you go, who would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank y'all for broadcasting it, and STRR and the League of Outlaws and Talking Dirt.
All righty, James. We'll let you go celebrate another victory.
Appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Thank you. That was our race winner, Mr. James Murphy. All right, what another great night of racing here with STRR at the Lucas Oil Speedway. Now, tonight was the first night I've really seen this racetrack in action, and it produced some really good racing and multiple racing grooves. What's your takeaways from tonight, Tim?
I'm just shocked, man. The runs that these guys were able to put together, uh, just multi groove the grooves of this track, you know, is just amazes me. I mean, there's not 1 inch of fluff left in the corners. It's all slick. I just can't believe that.
Yeah, and these drivers definitely found their way around this racetrack. Again, congratulations to our top three and James on the victory here tonight. Coming up on the Buckeye Racing Network is this coming Sunday night. We got the League of Outlaws IMCA style stock cars. We'll be going live about 9 p.m. Eastern Time, so really happy that everybody watching would tune in and watch along with us for another great night of racing. For Tim Henderson, I'm Tyler Bentley. Good night.